Hello, everyone. I want to thank you so much for being for tonight to the Team Transform Me call. And I am so blessed and excited to introduce Janelle Erickson as our speaker. Janelle is National Marketing Director at 24 Clubs with the Juice Plus company. She's a busy wife and stay-at-home mom from Leduc, Alberta. Diagnosed with autoimmune disease at the age 14, she struggled with the health issues all the way into the adulthood. Through her own health journey, she quickly learned the importance of the whole food nutrition and is now passionate about sharing with others. In only 10 short months, Janelle used social media to build her way to the top of the company to become 24 Club National Marketing Director. Janelle, floor, it's all yours because we want to really learn from you, and thank you so much for taking time to be with our team.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Before I start my presentation, I'll tell you guys a little bit about me and who I am and how I got started. So like Radka said, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm a busy mom, busy wife, and I've had my autoimmune disease for about 15 years. So just over half my life. And about 3 years ago, I really started to struggle with some health issues related to that autoimmune disease. And I was really suffering from anxiety and fatigue. And then one day in the midst of my busy, crazy life with my kids, I got this itch and I just thought it was, I don't know, summer heat rash. I wasn't really sure. And quickly it spread head to toe and the itch took over my entire body, which affected me in so many ways. I went to my doctor and I was looking for help, and because the itch was so bad that I wasn't sleeping and it was causing more anxiety, and it was hard for me to even leave the house with my kids because I was embarrassed and I was itchy. And my doctor just kept giving me more and more medication. He didn't have an answer for me. It was just like, here, we'll just give you something to cover up those symptoms. And over a year and a half of this itch just getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where I would scratch holes through my clothes because the itch was that bad. So I became depressed. And at one point, my doctor, because I kept going to him every month, he put me on 19 different prescriptions.
Oh.
So I was 27 years old and I had 2 little kids, and I was taking so much medication. I don't know what I was taking medication for. I have no idea. I was just taking it, hoping for an answer. And basically I got to the point where I was so depressed, and I just thought, you know what, I feel like the medical system has failed me. I'm just going to figure this out myself. I'm going to Google, trust Google to figure it out. And I got on Google and I had self-diagnosed myself with lymphoma. So here I thought, I'm done. Yep. Because it was in my glands, all my lymph nodes were swollen. So I walked into my doctor's office and I'm like, I have lymphoma. And he's like, go see a dermatologist. Like, I don't know what, my family doctor didn't know what to do with me. So I saw this dermatologist. I'm like, I have lymphoma. And he laughed at me. He held up the sheet of paper and I'll never forget it. He counted out 19 different prescriptions. And he's like, you have so much inflammation in your body. It's coming out through your skin. It is your immune system. You have an autoimmune disease. You're immune compromised. And you need something to support your immune system. He's like, I'm not diagnosing you with lymphoma. Like, just go. So I left feeling really defeated. And that was pretty much a big turning point for me, because I thought, nobody's going to listen to me. And ironically, 2 weeks later, I ran into Michelle Ball, who I wanted nothing to do with her. I knew she was that crazy Juice Plus lady that I was like, you just stay away from me. I don't need your Juice Plus. And I kept my distance from her, but I overheard her talking about Juice Plus and how the clinical research showed that it supported your immune system. And for me, that was like my aha moment. I didn't have anything really left to lose. Like, I was willing to try anything. And within 2 weeks of me trying the product, my itch was going away to the point where I started coming off all my medication. I started through a course of like not right away, but just slowly coming off. And within like a couple months, I was off everything. So, but in the meantime, I'm like, sign me up. I don't want a business, but I want a discount because I am going to take this product for the rest of my life. If I can feel this good just by fruits and vegetables, then sign me up. And Michelle was like, oh, okay, well, it's $50 to join the business. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care about the business stuff. I just want the discount. And quickly I got signed up, and I'm like, I got to share this with my friends on Facebook. I don't have a lot of people that I know, like I lived in Wetaskiwin at the time, but I had I had about 200 friends on Facebook, and I just wanted to share with them that I was feeling so good. And right away, my business blew up. I think my first post, I got 7 orders from. I didn't even know how to take the orders because I didn't want the orders. I wasn't even sure what to do with the orders because I didn't want a business. So I quickly learned from that I could be a stay-at-home mom and build a business and bring home a full-time income, which I'd never had before. And I just was doing what I love to do by sharing on Facebook. So it got me to NMD in 10 months, and it's changed my family's life completely. It's just been amazing for us. And now I've been on the product 2 years, and I take only one medication, which is a thyroid replacement that I'll have to take for the rest of my life because my thyroid is dead. And it's just been such a huge blessing for us. So I love sharing how I did it on social media. So I have a little presentation, PowerPoint presentation that I will show you guys. Just give me 1 second.
Thank you so much, Janelle, for sharing your wonderful story. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
All right.
Then I will make you just now being a speaker. Janelle? Janelle, you froze.
Hello?
Hello? Why it's all suddenly...
You can't hear me?
Yeah, suddenly the Zoom decided to remind me I can upgrade my account in the middle of the call.
Okay.
It's so crazy. Okay, it's all yours, Janelle, now.
So keep going. Okay. So did you hear that one slide then?
No, not at all. No,
Okay.
no. You have to go from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. So social media. I get told all the time that people don't know how to build their business on social media, and they're not familiar with Facebook, and they don't know how to do it, and they don't know how to use Facebook at all. And I really feel like everybody should take the time to learn how to use Facebook, even if it's baby steps. And this is kind of the importance of that, like why you should, because 74% of consumers rely on social media to make their purchasing decisions. And 8 out of 10 consumers are influenced by their friends' social media posts. And there are 1.4 billion monthly active users on Facebook. And you can connect with a lot of random people by using Facebook. You just have to learn simple steps to figure out how to get new people into your business. And I know for myself as a young mom, everything I bought was based off of my friends recommending something off Facebook or social media. So a lot of people make purchasing decisions. So for me, right away, posting etiquette. When I sign up a new distributor, I help my new distributors come up with their first Facebook post, and I want them to be authentic and, post something that's going to be true to them. We don't want to make them pretend to be somebody they're not. So this is usually a pretty generic post. I'll read it because some of you guys might be on your mobile phone, so it's hard to see. But so this is just a post that says it shows a picture of the gummies, and it says, I feel so good giving these to my kids. I know they start their day with plenty of fruits and vegetables, which helps build a strong immune system. And I threw in a couple hashtags of, no cold or flu this season. And this, I'm not kidding you, is like my first post that got 7 orders. It just draws people's attention. And that little hashtag of like no cold or flu this season, so many people, I didn't include the comments in this, but everybody was like, well, what do you mean no cold and flu? Give me details. They wanted to know more, which then allowed me to start that conversation with them in a private message to explain why, you know, maybe no cold or flu this season. So if you don't have kids, or, you know, obviously you can't post this, but post it about yourself even. And tagging photos. So tag a team member or a spouse or a business partner who's relevant to the post for better exposure. So this post, this is kind of funny. This isn't really Juice Plus at all, but I did this post. It was right after Halloween, and it's a picture of a gobstopper, which is a hard candy that says no artificial flavor. So I made a little quirky post and I tagged my husband. And I said, well, thank goodness there's no artificial flavors. That must mean they're healthy, right? Besides the sugar they're made of that weakens your immune system. Hashtag what a joke. I'm thankful for the most part, the only candy my kids get, candy, consists of 30 different fruits and vegetables. And I'm not kidding you, this post lit up on my Facebook. I had one of my husband's friends message me, who I've never met her before. She's like, all right, I've been watching you tag your husband in these posts. I need to know more about Juice Plus. And she's one of my distributors. Like so many more people can see it when you start tagging. Like for me, it's my husband. And it doesn't always have to be about Juice Plus, but people are watching. And then tagging for recognition. I think recognition is a huge part of our business. You know, I use my personal profile to publicly recognize and congratulate on promotions. This is my frontline distributor. She's an NMD. And it was such a huge privilege for me to be able to congratulate her on my private Facebook, or my personal Facebook page, because I think it shows that, you know, everybody's watching me grow in this business and they're not really sure what I'm doing, or they're not sure what's exactly is going on, or if it's just me that's having success. But by me sharing that my team is growing as well, they're like, wow, maybe I can do this, because she's not the only one who can do this. Look she's got people underneath her who are growing as well. And it's a huge boost to that person, to that distributor as well. I'm proud of her. I want to show people I'm proud of her. And it just makes her feel better too, and more appreciated, which I think is such a huge thing. And then another thing, this is huge for me. Don't sell Juice Plus. Like, we're not salespeople. We're not here to sell it. We're here to share our stories. We're highly paid storytellers. So this is a post that I always, right away, I recommend, like, new distributors, please don't do this. And this is why, by helping new distributors come up with that first post, you will avoid these kind of posts. If these posts are working for you, that's great. But for most of the people I find, it's better to stay away from these salesy posts. You know, don't include your website. Don't include message me for more details. That's the last thing you want to say, is message me for more details, because right away people feel like you're trying to sell them something. Do a post that they're going to need to ask you for more questions. You're not asking them to ask you for more information. They're going to have to ask you. And you can do that by being intriguing, right? So come up with a post that's going to get somebody to ask you a question. This is kind of what I go through with every Facebook post I do. How can I word this to get somebody to ask me a question? So I create posts that people are going to like, they're going to want to comment on, or they're going to share. And the more interaction you have with that post, the more it'll show up on more people's news feeds. So for me, this is always a really good, intriguing post. I said, all I know is that I used to give my kids Flintstone vitamins because I thought they're good for them, especially for cold and flu season. Some of those ingredients I don't even put in my own body, never mind my kids. Hashtag yikes, hashtag scary, hashtag my kids deserve the best. And truthfully, any parent that reads that, or any person who reads that, believes that their children, grandchildren, whatever, they deserve the best. So people want to know, how can I give my children the best, or my grandchildren the best, or these kids the best? how can I make that work? So this created a lot of conversation. People asking, well, what is this? Like, and I think they didn't realize that Flintstones or the other vitamins nobody looks at ingredients. You don't realize until it's like pretty much thrown in your face what you're actually putting into your body. So put it out there, be intriguing so that somebody's got to ask you for more information. And then okay, so this is kind of like a corporate head office thing. We're not allowed to make health claims. So where do we get information that we can use to try and intrigue people to, want more information? It gives our product more backing. So use your personal website, go on and take screenshots of that. Any of that stuff that you can get off your personal, like our websites, use them. And we know they're safe. And if anybody questions you on, the research, well, the research is there because you've pulled it right from our corporate website. There's no question if that's a legit information. It's right off our website, and the information's there to prove it. Presentation, this is big. I always find that even like for myself, when I'm looking through Facebook, things that catch my attention are things that look good. So food recipes, right? The recipes that look good are the ones you want to eat, not something that looks, some like McDonald's thrown on a tray. So presentation, anybody who follows me on Facebook knows that I love making smoothies, and I put a little bit, and sometimes I put a lot of effort into my smoothies, but I have fun doing it. And when I do these smoothies, they catch so much attention. And I'm not saying everybody has to spend hours trying to make it look good, but this smoothie took me 2 minutes to throw that banana on there, some of those cocoa chips or whatever they're called, and it got so many people asking me, for the recipe. And the one piece of advice I will give you about doing this is when somebody asks you for that recipe, do not post in the comments what that recipe is. Because if you do, anybody else who was curious about that recipe is going to read it off your comments rather than have to personally ask you for the recipe, and then you can follow up with them in a message. So for anybody who asks for that recipe, you just like their comment, say, I'll private message you. So that way anybody else reading knows they have to ask you for the recipe, and you're going to follow through and send them that recipe. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. Just put a little bit of extra time and make it, look good and catch people's attention. And of course, you can't always be about Juice Plus. My Facebook I don't post a lot, like hardly anything on Juice Plus. I have to show people that I have a life outside Juice Plus. My whole world doesn't revolve around Juice Plus. And it goes back to my why, right? My children and my family. So I like to show pictures of, me and the family. We like to eat sushi. That's something fun for us. I like to go floating in like the Epsom salt bath where you float. And that's a healthy thing. There's so many different health benefits. So I think people watching are like, okay, she's into health. It's not all about Juice Plus. She genuinely cares about her health and, living a healthy lifestyle, inspiring healthy living around the world. And I love to run. And another thing I think is kind of important, and I think it keeps people on my Facebook, is posting those quotes or those, like that one, 2 steps forward, 1 step back still gets you ahead. I think if you can post something like that on your Facebook and make somebody smile, and it could be about anything, and you just make their day by seeing that, people are going to be drawn to that profile. So, try to be a positive person that people want to check into that Facebook profile. And then stay positive. Stay away from negative posts. So I understand everybody uses social media to vent and have a bad day. That's where everybody goes. And in this case, I was having a bad day. We all have bad days.
You got an echo happening.
I know, it's awful. Hold on, I'll take my. Is it better now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the echo's gone. Okay, so in this case, I was having a bad day, and rather than getting on my Facebook and just being like, I hate my life, and like, you know, and those ugly posts, they're so ugly and I hate them. But instead of doing that, I turned around and made it into like a funny post of like, I remember that house I was talking about buying at the regional a few weeks ago. I forgot to mention it won't be in Canada. It'll be somewhere warm and sunny. So rather than, you know, scaring people away thinking I'm a horrible negative person, people actually laughed and they were like, yeah, like we had just got dumped with like 2 feet of snow and nobody wanted to be there. And like it just turned into like a fun post that everybody was like, yep, I agree. But it made me feel better because I got to kind of vent and be a normal person where I wasn't having a good day, but I didn't come across as negative or, you know, somebody that people wanted to avoid. And then grow your circle. So eventually I ran out of people on my Facebook. I had to start meeting new people, and that's where it comes into that how many monthly users are on Facebook. So I had to start meeting these new people. So I figured out get into these groups. Get into a group, and they can be about anything. So it can be, I'm in like a Leduc Mamas because that's where I'm from. I'm in a budgie group because my kids have birds. And I'm in a, you know, what's for dinner Leduc group. And I don't get on these groups and talk about Juice Plus, but I get on there and I meet new people. I start having a conversation. It can be about food, or it can be about budgies, or it can be, you know, kids stuff. And you just create that relationship with them on that group. And those people who are in groups, they are on there all the time, and you start to get to know the people. And if you're having a conversation with somebody on there, I guarantee if you're carrying out the long little conversation, you're going back and forth, if you add that person as a friend, they're going to accept you. And once you've added them as a friend, then your profile, like your Facebook profile, will then expose them to Juice Plus, not on the group, but on the side, once you've added, or they've added you as a friend. So try making new connections that way, and do not talk Juice Plus on these groups. And then, so, okay, create a video or flipagram. That's pretty straightforward. I think everybody knows those. The flipograms are really good because you can share my story, or I could share your story, and it's just more powerful when you can hear somebody's voice. You can hear the emotion. It's better than trying to type out this long text that nobody wants to read and they get lost. But if it's a short 5-minute video, people are more willing to watch that. And then make your post public. That's pretty much self-explanatory. It just, you know, increases your exposure. It helps people find you, attracts potential prospects, and it promotes you. Hashtags. Oh, there's that echo. So hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can everybody mute themselves, please?
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So hashtags, people can search hashtags, which will then get your posts to show up in their Facebook. And that's it.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Janelle. That was, and I will ask anybody, do you have any questions for Janelle? I have for you a question.
Okay.
Because you built amazing team. Then the team was coming just through your Facebook connection, or?
Yeah, pretty much just through Facebook, because I'm an introvert. Like I don't do well in big groups, and I will never, I don't know. So for me, when I figured out Facebook was working, then it was like, okay, I can connect with these people, the people I already have on my Facebook, and it's easier for me to type something out rather than to, you know, get on the phone and tell them what I think. And I have more confidence. So I just started, once these people were like commenting on my posts, then I kind of sold them on the business side. And right away I was like, I can help you do this. Like, let's do it through social media. This is what I'm doing. And they were just all in.
Then how did you expose them to the business, What did you send them?
So then it always started from like a product post. So then I would follow up with them in a private message. And then I would talk to them I would just tell them a little bit about the product. And then I would just say like, I signed up for a discount. And you can tell them that even if that's true or not, because you're still getting a discount, right? Either way. And I said that I signed up for a discount because it was only $50. And I can't believe using social media that it's turned into a part-time, or like my earnings are the same as a part-time business, full-time business, depending on what your earnings are. And people were like, really, just through Facebook? I'm like, yeah. And I'll be honest with them. I'll be like, my post got you, didn't it? And then they sit there and they're like, yeah, it did. And then they think if that's all it took for me to get them, then they can do the same thing.
I see.
Right?
Well, I will open a team. Did anybody has a question for Janelle? Everybody.
Yeah, I have a question. How did you get your first customer?
My first customer?
Or, sorry, your first distributor.
My first distributor would be, I'm trying to think who that was. It would be through Facebook. It would just be, she would have commented. And actually, okay, I know who it is. So that one, yeah, I had got her through one of my Facebook posts. And then I kind of told her a little bit about the business side and how much because in my first month I was promoted to like VF and sales coordinator, but you can't do it all in the same month. So we had to like backdate me. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, I'm making money and I haven't done anything but just share on Facebook. And she was just like, what? So then I'm like, I'll help you come up with posts. Like, let's just do this together. So we did it. And she's an SSC now.
Okay, thank you.
If I can just ask, I'm just wondering when you say that, keep the people in the conversation or just make your little posts here and there. My concern or what have you is I never really get any comments back from people, like a lot of likes, but like nothing like, oh, what's that, Rox? Or what's in that smoothie? Like, we kind of just every now and then put some good posts on, and because I'm always sharing recipes and health ideas because I'm type 1 diabetic and trying to help people out there, but haven't got any grabs or interest. That's really, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just hard to figure that out.
I think being consistent with posting is a big thing, because if every once in a while you just throw in a post and they kind of know it's Juice Plus, they kind of know where you're going with that, right? They catch on that they know you want them to ask you a question. So I think, but if you build it up consistently, then they know this is you. This is actually, you're not just every 2 weeks about it. This is you as a person. This is what is important to you, and you're going to share on a regular basis. And maybe it's a matter of just changing some wording. Are you wording it in a way that you're not giving enough information that so they have to ask you for more, right? I always tell people, try and come up with one line. One line isn't giving them enough information. They're gonna have to ask you for more, right? So if you just come up with in your post one line, one sentence, and put some thought into it, because if it takes you a little while, I'll go on my phone or on my computer and I'll write out a post and I have an idea for a picture, and I might not post it for 2 days until I have it the way I want it, that people are going to ask me, because it's worth it. If you can get 7 orders off one post, then it was worth the day to put it together, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Then, Janelle, you really think through your posts. You don't just throw them in as your emotions they go.
No. There's times where I do, but if it's like like a really big one, like a Juice Plus one that I've probably been working on it for a week. I have an idea, I've planned it out, I know what I'm going to say, so that, and sometimes you can change the setting on your Facebook so that only I can see the post. So you can change it to only me. So when you post it, only you can see it. And then you can look at the post and does it look good? You can read it through. Then when you know it looks good, do they have to hit read more? Lots of people don't want to read more, right? They want to just see it in that small little screen. So then once I have it the way I want it to look, then I'll change it to a public post. So then everybody on Facebook can see it.
I see. Then it's really, you are creating the poem.
Yes. Yeah.
Or essay, if you will.
It takes more time, but it's worth it.
Yeah. No, that is very important, because very often people just emotionally, and I myself guilty of that too, you just threw something there, and the people, you are building really your profile, like who you are, right? And
right. And from the time you post, you only have 10 minutes for the most people to see it. After 10 minutes, after 10 minutes, it moves down so that your posts are at the very bottom of the news feed. So you want it to be a post that in those first 10 minutes, you're going to catch as many people's attention as you can in those first 10 minutes of posting.
And Janelle, so you are using video too when you want to really talk to people. Like, how often you put video on? Do you put it just in the Facebook Messenger, or do you put it on your wall?
Yeah, just Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we are running over with time, but I know you are master with the Facebook parties too. Then I would love to ask you some tips and tricks how you run them. Like, I know you told me you run them private.
Yeah.
Then just can you a little bit fill us in, because this is something which we'll be incorporating very much now on our team.
Okay, so keep them private, and you want to keep the party small. So only invite, if you're doing a mom, like it's going to be about moms, only invite, think of 10 moms that you want to get that information out to. And the reason is if you invite all 200 of your mom friends on Facebook, in 2 weeks from now, when you do another Facebook party, they're not going to want to come on because you just invited them 2 weeks ago. So pick your 10 people, and you can work one-on-one easier with 10 people than you can 50 people, 100 people, right? So get them on there and pick your 10 people, private message them, tell them that you're doing a Facebook party, you value their opinion as a mom, health is a priority to them, and you would just love for them to just follow along. That's like my line every time. I just would love if you follow along. I'm just looking for some feedback. And guaranteed, they're your friend. They're going to say yes because they want to help you out. And by asking them that, would you follow along? I'm just looking for feedback. They're going to say yes. So now they've already agreed to you following up with them in a day for that feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then anybody on the team, do you have any questions for Janelle? You will not have her in front of you for a long time. Then use that opportunity. I guess, Janelle, you just cover it. Right. You just did it. You nail it. Well, thank you so much. I will see you at the conference in a few weeks. Yeah. And thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.